Sharks.
More sharks. You like sharks?
Sharks are cool, man. Sharks are so fucking awesome. I love sharks. The great white shark is easily the most eminently recognisable fish on the planet. Long, strong, and clocking in at over 2 tons of fun when fully grown, the great white shark would easily be the crowning shark-shaped jewel in any aquarium that managed to capture one. Or it would be if the great white shark didn't have the nasty habit of immediately dying the moment it's put into water it does not own.
Oh, it sounds like such a mood.
Yeah, just like, I don't belong here.
Just like, I don't belong here, death.
Oh god, no, I dropped my microphone. Oh god, no, I fell on the floor. Oh god. I'm trying to find a place to put it where you don't just see wires everywhere. Fuck it, I'll put it behind Space Jam. There we go, done. Space Jam. Like, this is the thing, like, people wondering why are these things on the desk. They're to hide cables. So I'm just plugged into... Anyway, Nisha.
So, yeah, this is such a mood. What is going on?
Well, you see, despite immense interest from some of the most powerful people in the world, at least as far as fish are concerned, there has never been a great white shark held in captivity for more than a couple of days at most, with a couple of notable exceptions, which include a shark that was held in captivity for 198 days before they had to release it because it kept attacking and killing other sharks in the tank.
Bloody hell, showing who's boss.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, like, it's a great white fucking shark. Like, it's an apex predator for a reason. And discounting that one notable exception and a couple of other fringe cases where the shark was kept alive for a couple of weeks, a few months at most, almost every other great white shark ever captured and put into captivity died almost instantly, with some great white sharks dying mere hours after being put into a tank.
Jesus, that seems extreme, doesn't it?
It does, especially so thinking like the great white shark. Like, it is like the pinnacle of fish-based evolution. Like, it is widely known as like the perfect creature. That's the thing everyone knows about sharks, isn't it? They haven't evolved in millions of years because they haven't needed to. They're perfect already. And for anyone wondering, well, how perfect is a shark from an evolutionary standpoint? Car manufacturers will frequently study the aerodynamics of sharks to learn from them. It's like, so we could just keep designing stuff, or we could go look at what nature spent 1 million years doing. Do you remember like the Beijing Olympics a couple of years ago where there was like that shark skin swim costumes that some swimmers wore, and they just broke like 8 world records and it got immediately banned for being too good? Because there was that story, wasn't it? It was, is the pool shorter than it should be because too many people broke world records that year? Like, a suspicious amount of people broke world records and they legitimately thought the pool was too small. And it turns out, no, there's this new costume they're all wearing based on shark skin, supposedly, that lets them cut through the water so fast. They're just breaking world records left, right, centre. And those costumes got banned.
No, I know it's like not what they look like, but imagine them having swimsuits with fins on.
Oh, man, just dressed like a shark, like Victor Crumb. just straight in. Like a pair of the Simpsons joke, where he's got like the goggles on and like the cardboard shark fin on his back, just swimming through water.
Suckers.
Shark boy!
Yeah, the thing about sharks is like they're almost unstoppable.
Yeah, especially the great white shark. It's an apex predator. People know what I mean. Apex predator is just the term used to describe a creature that just is the very tippy top of the food chain. Like, nothing can challenge it except for other apex predators. And in the case of great white sharks, that apex predator is the killer whale, which, fun fact, will turn sharks upside down so they drown because they're not very buoyant when they're upside down, and then eat their livers.
Oh my god.
But to bring it back to great white sharks, like the idea that these apex predators, like these like perfect killing machines, will instantly die upon being put into aquarium tanks that in a lot of cases are purpose built to contain them. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. It's not like you're just putting a goldfish into the wrong sort of water. This is a shark.
Yeah, this is a shark, and it's been, like, in many cases, captured and handled by experts on its biology and its physiology and its needs and its wants. And they put it into a tank, and then hours later it fucking drops dead. That's a rough day, innit? And as well, you just don't think of sharks being that extra, do you? Just being that dramatic.
Just does so much drama.
That's the one you said, it's a big mood. Just the shark, I don't like this, dies. And I can only imagine, have you ever seen, I'm going somewhere with this, that amazing clip from Would I Lie to You with Big Narstie?
I might have done. I'm not sure. I might have done.
Like the one where he's, the one where he's talking about Ukabong. When he's talking about Ukabong, don't worry, there'll be a clip, folks at home who are confused. He talks about how, like, an Ukabong, people don't know, it's like, it's a game his family made where you put socks inside of socks and then hit your brothers and your sisters with them. And he says that his uncle had like this incredible ukabong, Thor's ukabong, and he put a tennis ball in it. It's like, he says, and when you hit him, he's like, ow, ow, ow. And he goes, except for when you got hit by that ukabong, he's just, and just the noise he makes is so perfect. That's the noise I imagine sharks make. So the great white shark points to a tank, it's like, just floats to the surface.
And when Uncle Simon ones goes off, it's more of a
Experts are baffled at why this is the case, although there are a number of theories about why the sharks just immediately die, which we'll get to in a moment. But it's just, you just don't think of it, do you? Like, you don't think of sharks being creatures, especially great white sharks, being something that is just so skittish, so nervous, so prone to stress. Being in captivity so greatly stresses out the animal that most of the time they just either die or get released because the experts studying them feel really bad. To the point where experts across the world in aquariums, like, there's no point trying to capture a great white shark. There's nothing more we can learn from them in captivity, except for the fact they fucking hate it.
Oh, it's just weird to think, because obviously in aquariums, you do get sharks, but they're always smaller, the smaller sharks. I don't know the breed names or anything like that.
Usually it's like a mako shark. The thing is, like, I've been to an aquarium in Japan where they have a whale shark.
Oh, wow.
So for anyone out there wondering, is it because the sharks are simply too big? No, bigger, species of shark have been held in captivity successfully, and bigger creatures, like killer whales famously, although they don't do very well, admittedly. So that's like you get all the stories like killer whales like attacking people and like the Blackfish documentary. It's like, yeah, killer whales fucking hate being in captivity because they're so intelligent, but they're still held in captivity. You can argue how successful it is, but they don't just drop dead instantly like the sharks do.
So we've gathered that sharks die when they're in captivity.
Yeah, great white sharks just don't like being in captivity. They hate it.
Do they do anything before they die? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, that's the thing, because experts who studied and observed the sharks, before they just drop dead or are released because they feel bad for the shark, or it's just like it's very clearly in distress, they show very strange behaviour. And my mind goes to a great white shark specimen that was captured in Japan that they released after just 3 days because it spent the entirety of those 3 days headbutting the tank it was in.
Oh, God.
Seemingly trying to escape. And experts have since concluded that the shark was probably just really confused because the glass was likely interfering with its sense of electroreception, because sharks have the ability to detect minute movements in the water via like electrical impulses, via an organ, I think, in their nose or like, in their head. And that's all well and good, isn't it? But Nisha, just for a moment, imagine being one of the people who worked in that aquarium and knowing that you're about to get a great white shark, and you've got a leaflet in front of you telling you that, oh, great white sharks hate being in captivity, but we think this is going to be the winner. Every shark ever put in captivity prior to this, or every great white shark, I should say, has either died immediately, attacked everything in its tank, or needed to be released because it was too stressed. Well, this is going to be great. And then you look as the shark gets dropped into the water, and the very first thing it does is immediately start headbutting the shit out of the glass partition, separating you from it.
Yeah, I'd be pretty terrified, to be honest.
That shark was released because they realised like we can't hold it in captivity. It's either going to kill everything in its tank, kill itself by attacking the glass, or just die of stress. Which can bring us to the reasons why it's widely agreed there will never be a great white shark held in captivity.
So what are the theories that we have?
Well, one of them is that the sense of electroreception is interfered with, and the sharks just don't like this. It confuses them, and when they're confused, they get stressed. When they get stressed, they lash out and attack other sharks, and just the stress just causes them to just perspire. But another theory that could also be true is that the sharks are simply too worldwide, and that's not me being hyperbolic, because great white sharks, I keep using sharks and great white sharks interchangeably, I apologise, but great white sharks, their roaming range is literally the entire planet. Like, Joe, you've probably heard when tigers are in captivity, it's really cruel for the tiger because they have a roaming range in the wild of 20 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
And you see a tiger in a really small cage, and they say, oh, that's the equivalent of a human being spending all their time in their bedroom. It's I can't imagine what that's like after a year in lockdown. But with sharks, great white sharks specifically, their roaming range is the entire fucking ocean. Because sharks are sometimes literally found on the other side of the planet after being tagged.
Bloody hell.
They will just swim to the other side of the planet. Not to mention as well, they can dive to depths of 2,000 meters. So not only is their roaming range all of Earth, it's all of Earth plus 2,000 meters downwards.
That's a lot of room.
It is a lot of room, yes. And I imagine taking like that down to like, a 50,000 gallon tank. It's ridiculous. Like, how do you expect the shark to like, just deal with that when it's used to like having the entire world as its pen? And for that reason, they say, well, it's so shocking, just so stressful for the shark, it cannot handle it. It goes from being able to go anywhere on Earth to like a small tank. And the same is true of things like killer whales, but at least they have like, higher brain function that allows like, them to be stimulated socially. For a shark, it just knows that I can't roam. I can't see the world. I can't travel anymore. What do I do?
I can't travel.
My wanderlust is gone. What do I do? So they just die.
That's so sad.
And for that reason, experts have concluded that there's no point even trying to keep a great white shark in captivity because it'll just die if you do, which I'm going to frame as a victory for the shark because it's funny and because I can.